Demystifying AI myths. Well, yes, when we talk about AI, there are a lot of myths, misconceptions, doubts, wrong information about artificial intelligence. Like people say, AI will take away all our jobs. It's fair and biased, or fair and unbiased, I would say, and many, many, many more. Now, how do you get to the facts? Are these for real, or what is the real situation? For that, I'm going to talk to none other than the top AI voice on LinkedIn, Nektarios Charalampous, who has kindly agreed to share his wisdom. And I liked his post on LinkedIn about the AI myths, and hence we are going to talk to him in a very interesting conversation on myth by myth, we demystify the myth. Let's go and talk to him.
Hello, and welcome to the Fit for Privacy Podcast with Punit Bhatia. This is the podcast for those who care about their privacy. Here, your host, Punit Bhatia, has conversations with industry leaders about their perspectives, ideas, and opinions relating to privacy, data protection, and related matters. Be aware that the views and opinions expressed in this podcast are not legal advice. Let us get started.
So here we are with Nektarios. Nektarios, welcome to Fit for Privacy Podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, Punit.
It's a great pleasure to have you. And before we get into debunking the myths around AI, which is the post I liked about your AI in LinkedIn, I want to ask you, how did you end up or get into this AI field?
So, towards the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, I had a discussion with my manager, and he mentioned that we need to start doing more in terms of machine learning and AI. And I was like, I don't even know what AI is. The only AI I knew was from science fiction movies. So I went back. I started researching about artificial intelligence, machine learning. I took some courses online, Coursera, Udemy, YouTube, uh, simple courses and then I head into more advanced courses like Python and data science and how to use Python to create machine learning algorithms. So that's when I liked it, and I started learning more and more and more, and I ended up creating my own course for my company when I used to work back then, and headed to do a face-to-face five-day session with my colleagues, and since then I'm learning about AI, and I'm trying to post about AI and write about AI, and over the last year with generative AI coming to the picture, uh, everyone is talking AI.
Yeah. These days, everything is AI. Not AI, but people are talking about AI. So it's very
Yeah.
fascinating. But you also recently became the top AI voice on LinkedIn. So how did that happen?
So I started posting on LinkedIn regularly like 2 months ago, and LinkedIn has these top voice badges. One is invitation only, and the other one is community top voice. So when I started posting on LinkedIn and responding to uh, posting about different perspectives on the AI related questions, the community liked my responses. I try to be transparent and human. I tried not to use AI for my responses, and the community liked it. And one day I just, got a notification from LinkedIn saying you are recognized as an AI top voice, which is great to hear.
It's indeed great, good achievement, and I would say congratulations a lot. Indeed, your content is very useful, and let's maybe start to debunk some of the myths that surround with AI. And one of the fears or myths around I consider is around the jobs because people are talking. And in one of the conferences, Elon Musk said 80% of the jobs will go away. I'm sure he meant something differently, but people have interpreted it really black and white. And people are thinking all the jobs will go away, we all will be jobless or whatever. And then some of people are saying we will have robots working and we will have holidays on the beach. What's your opinion about this myth?
So we already have in different industries, we already have robots working, doing different tasks that require low cognitive skills or that are mundane and needs to be done daily, But the World Economic Forum, predicted that by 2025 there will be around 85 million job losses. But it also predicted that there will be 97 million new ones, right?
Yeah,
So what this means, in my opinion, is that AI will not replace jobs, but it will transform them.
yeah,
It will transform the roles.
I agree with you fully. The way we do our work would transform, would change. Like already in even in my job, I'm using Chat GPT a lot, which I was
Yeah.
not. But that has replaced some of my dependency on some trainees or assistants, because I can get my first draft. Sometimes I can get my first social media post or something from AI. But that doesn't mean I use it as is. I use my own judgment and I use the collective intelligence of AI and myself to make the post better. So that's how it will be. And when we say, there was a famous quote from Harvard in one of the articles, they said AI will not take jobs of human. AI will take jobs of humans who refuse to learn AI, because humans who will learn AI and who are willing to work with AI, they will always have a job.
Yeah. AI is doing copywriting. Everyone now can create content with ChatGPT, but if you are an expert copywriter, you can use AI to automate that, and you can move into being like an AI content strategist. You can set the brand, you can set the tone, you can set anything, right? And people, what a lot of people are not realizing is that when AI replaces your job, it gives you an opportunity to upskill and reskill towards AI, so you have the skill set to move into the new transformed role.
Indeed. And I think the jobs will always remain. The job content will change. The way the job is being done will change. And there'll be more. It's like in the banks. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, people were saying all jobs will go away, it will be computers. But then somebody needed to put data into computers. Then they were saying all branches will go away. Now we are in 2024 and still branches exist. Okay, they are less in number, there are more ATMs, more digitized machines, and it's the same. What human can do, only human can do. But the thing is, human has to upskill and do things which only human can do rather than the robots. If you look at the automobile industry, the manufacturing on a supply chain is severely or almost digitized. But that doesn't mean there are no humans. It's digitized, it's more efficient, it's more effective, but still jobs are there. Robots are also there. There are more robots than humans in that, but
Yeah,
still.
if we take out, let's remove AI from the picture. It's the same like you use a software that's 20 years old. Now you need a new software. People don't want to switch to a new software, but they have to because of the new functionalities, the new industry standards, everything. So it's the same with AI, and I think it's the same with a lot of other things.
Yeah. And there's another one, another myth which we call is people saying AI is more intelligent than humans. And there are different views. I do have my own opinion also, but I like to hear first your opinion. Is AI more intelligent than humans?
Currently, I would say no.
Yeah,
I think we are not there yet, right? We are right now in the stage of artificial narrow intelligence, which is where AI is used for specific tasks to automate different activities and stuff. But AI being more intelligent than humans is what we call artificial general intelligence, or AGI, right? So there was basically an interesting paper that was published by different researchers on when will AI exceed human intelligence, right? Say that with generative AI, the timelines of AGI becoming a reality for different industries, for specific industries like manufacturing or for uh, driving and stuff like that, was the timeline is moved by even up to 20-25 years, right? But I think we will need to have human touch in everything we do. That comes down to a different myth of autonomous agents and stuff. But when AI will become more intelligent than humans in specific tasks, we still need people to be part of that decision-making process, to do some audit in the data and be able to strategize where AI is going.
I'm fully with you. And I would say it in a different words because again, everyone has his own perspective, and that's why we are all humans. We are not artificial machines. So, what you said exactly, because humans are complex, or human intelligence is complex. There's reasoning, there's mathematics, there's rationality, there's psychology, there's resonance, there's emotions, there's feelings, perceptions, and so on. So when it comes to mathematical, rational logic, or do some mundane tasks, the artificial intelligence perhaps will be more intelligent than humans, because there we have the fatigue factor. After I do the same, let's say now I'm in a supply chain and I have to connect the doors. After maybe putting 100 doors, I will get bored and I will need break. I will not need break, and I will do it with the same efficiency, whether it's the first door or the thousandth door. So there AI will be better. But in the sense of reasonability, in the sense of perception, in the sense of being able to feel an emotion and judge, and where there's no 2 plus 2 equal to 4 always, there humans will always have an edge. Even the AGI we talk about, at least now, we don't know future, nobody knows, but the artificial general intelligence or the super intelligence that will come in, we believe that will be capable of reasoning, emotions, and so on, but we have no evidence yet of that. And even if it comes, it will need not only emotionality or rationality or perception, many other things, because for us, our human mind is very spontaneous and can perceive and interpret in many ways. So human intelligence has many dimensions. We will explore those dimensions and learn how we are different from humans. So yes, at the moment it's not so intelligent, but eventually it will become intelligent in certain parts or certain aspects of intelligence. But having said that, the collective intelligence of artificial intelligence and human intelligence will supersede what artificial intelligence can
Yeah,
provide.
they should complement each other. There is another thing that's called one-shot learning, right? So this is when people's mind can learn something from very few examples to none, right? For example, if you see a tree that's falling on top of you, right, you can calculate in your mind, and that's the first time it's happening to you, because if it happened before, then maybe we wouldn't be here. But you can calculate in your mind that the tree is going to fall this side, so you can avoid it. And this is the same thing that children are very good at learning very fast. Like AI needs thousands or millions of data to be able to categorize things, whereas children and humans and people and adults are much faster in learning something.
Yeah. And I
So
think,
this is where we differ.
and where we differ also is we have that element of intelligence which is non-definable, because it's not binary yes or no, especially when it comes to ethical or moral concerns, because the same situation we may go left and we may go right based on the
Yeah.
context, while AI tends to interpret those situations as more of a binary thing, either left or right. Because I was watching a video which was illustrating how AI interprets it. And so in that story, there's a guy who hires a robo as his servant. Then he teaches the robo about religion, and the
Okay.
robo asks him about religion questions. what is good and what is bad. And we all know good and bad is defined in function of the situation.
In
So,
context, yeah.
yes, it's a context driven thing. Now, the robo, what it does is it interprets the definition which the guy is giving him, because it's guy's bias also. And then later on, he kills somebody on behalf of his master because he interprets that's the right thing to do, because he asks him when he's teaching, so if somebody was to hit you, it's my duty to protect you. Now, nobody was hitting
Yeah,
him,
yeah, yeah.
but the robo perceived that this action can hit my master. So the robo acted and killed the other person. Now, because he was interpreting the ethical or the religious dimension of what is good and what is bad.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so it's very fascinating, that aspect. But that takes us to the other part of our question also, which is, okay, intelligent or not is a separate question. Humans always have the ability to supervise and ability to give input. But is or can AI be autonomous? That is, it can do things by itself.
So this is the question. This is the myth that's complementing the previous myth. So I was thinking about it this morning, and I was thinking, let's say you go to an Airbnb, right? And the place is nothing like the pictures, like, or a hotel, or no, you go to Airbnb, place is nothing like the pictures, and then the first thing you think of is to put some negative feedback, or just for other people not to visit that place again, right? And then you sleep on it, and then the next morning, the old lady that has the place comes to you, offers you breakfast, and she starts telling you her story that she lost her husband, or whatever life threw at her, and she's just doing this to be able uh, to provide for her grandchildren and everything, right? So at that point, me personally, and most of the people, wouldn't put that negative feedback, right? Because the human feeling is coming to the picture. It's a fact that the place looks nothing like the pictures, but it's also a fact that the old lady is trying, the owner of the house is trying, and she's doing it to help her family and stuff. So if you had an AI make this decision and focus on the facts, this is where it will put a negative feedback. Most probably no one would ever go to that place again, right? So this was something I was thinking this morning, right? But you have a lot of different examples about this. For example, there was I think it was 2017, I don't remember, but I was reading somewhere that they did a chatbot for a hospital to help answer questions and stuff, right? So after a month or so, one of the guys who had depression was asking the chatbot, like, I have this, I have that. Do you think I should kill myself? And the chatbot said, I think you should, right? So they stopped the chatbot right away. But this is, you have a lot of examples, especially in industries like healthcare or aviation, where we are not there yet. We still need to have machine-driven decision making, but with a human uh, hand to support that decision making.
I would agree with that. I think it says in the EU GDPR also, it says you can have automated decision making, but with the right to object to that automated decision making or ask something in addition to that automated decision making. Like a few weeks back, my LinkedIn was hacked or put on
Okay.
hold. Now the robo system decided that I was not me. It's possible because that's a robo.
Yeah.
So, and I tried to get in. I gave all the inputs I mean, it's my account, so I know what I have to give in. But it chose to reject all those inputs, and then it was asking me some strange questions. And finally, in one of the questions, because of the internet connection, it got wrong. So there was a image which I had to interpret, saying which is the right image, or up and upside down and downside up. And I clicked twice by error because my mouse worked, and it interpreted that I am a robo now. So it blocked me for 24 hours. So then I started again after 24 hours, and then the same thing happened. Something else went wrong. And then it blocked me another for 24 hours. And then finally, after 2 iterations or 3 iterations, I got to know. I was more cautious, more diligent, not to act as a robot, but be more human, taking more time before answering everything, giving all the data as it was asking because I knew. And that's where I think AI is autonomous in a sense, but you need at certain times, what do you say, the human intervention. And it was the same thing few years ago. I was working with Microsoft. I lost my password,
Okay.
and also I lost my email at that time because I had just created one day before. So I lost both password and email, but I had paid for the account. So now the AI was thinking, or that AI, that was primitive AI, it was not so smart AI as of today. It was rejecting me. But then it finally, after all the trials, said, our automatic systems conclude that you are not the right person. However, if you like, we can make you talk to a customer care service tomorrow. And if you convince him that you are the right person, then, because for AI to work, it needed some parameters, which I didn't have because the name or the password. Then I explained the guy, this is my credit card, this is me, this is my domain name in which I created the account. But since it was the first day, I lost both somehow, and I didn't make a note of it. And he or she activated the account. So that's why human intervention is needed, and that is also leading to something what we call is, some people say that AI is always, or it's more fair and more unbiased than human beings, and that's another myth we have. What do you say about that?
I think that's a misconception because of the fact that AI is machine mimicking human behavior, right? Mimicking human intelligence. So by their nature, machines are objective. Whatever they are programmed to do, they will do. So this is why a lot of people think that AI is fair and unbiased, and I'm hoping that eventually we will get there, right? But right now we are not there. That's because of a number of reasons. Number one, AI is trained by humans. Like, even though AI will understand and identify patterns, like, through data without being explicitly programmed, the data need to be pre-processed, clean, normalized, all these things. Humans are going to do that, data scientists. So these data, if you don't have the right amount of data, if you don't have the right quality of data, if you don't have the right data, full stop, then the AI will be biased. Okay, let's consider the scenario where you have in healthcare. Let's say you create an AI tool to identify cardiovascular diseases, right? And you input all the data, like with people who had cardiovascular disease. So this is a case where AI can identify with huge accuracy someone who might have a cardiovascular disease, right? But because the AI was never trained on data with healthy hearts, when it sees a healthy heart, it might think that this person has a cardiovascular disease. So this is a false positive scenario, which can, imagine now you are healthy and you have some robot telling you, like, you 95% accuracy that you have this. And this is how a lot of symptoms checkers work online, So that's one thing, the data. And then the other thing, you have assumption bias, right? So you have, let's take software engineers. Most of the software engineers are men. So if you have a team of 50 men, of 40 men and 10 women engineers, developing an AI system, then because of their assumptions that most engineers are men, then the AI system might discriminate against women. Amazon did this when they wanted to recruit, how you call it? They wanted to recruit, to do an AI recruitment tool in 2000, when was it? 2014, I think. And it was, they shut it down because when they were training it, because of this assumption, the AI was, any CV that had a woman in it or the word woman, it was automatically declined. So when they started refining it, they figured it out. They couldn't fix it, so they shut it down. So how can we solve this? I would say that diversifying the committee, having a committee which can audit for accuracy and unbiased outcomes, and then having a diverse and inclusive development team and organization that will develop this area. This what I would say is the main cause and the main solution.
Yeah, I think that's the only solution combined with the human intervention, because you need to consistently check if there's a bias or not. And but that we talked about. And when we talk about myths, there's also one perception people have, or myth people have, that AI is only for big companies. It's AI is for large corporates who have large projects or programs, and they need to automate a lot of things. Do you think that's has any element of truth?
Uh, when we listen about AI, we always think expensive solutions. Uh, when someone says, let's develop an AI system, the first thing that comes to mind is how much time and money will this take, right? And it makes sense because when you want to have a lot of data costs, storage costs, So most of the small companies or individuals, they think about not going into AI because of limited capital and resources. And I would say this was the case a couple of years back, right? But now you have a lot of options, a lot of solutions. You even have free source large language models. You have APIs like OpenAI is giving away their LLM through API. You can create a custom chatbot. Even if you don't want to use ChatGPT, you can create a custom chatbot in 15 minutes, trained on your knowledge base. So I would say there are a lot of solutions that small business owners or companies or even individuals can do, starting with general purpose AI. If they want to develop an application, web app, they even if they don't know how to code, English is the new coding. This is what the CEO of NVIDIA was saying the other day. And I think it's true because now you just need to know how to write an advanced prompt and you can get out of AI whatever you want. So yeah, I think that's the first step. And the misconception, I would agree with it a couple of years back, but now I don't think I agree with it. I think AI is now more accessible than ever. There are a lot of case studies and researches done that AI is now more accessible and applicable to all organizations, regardless of any size or resources.
I fully agree with you. I mean, in the modern world, especially now, in the last 6 months or 1 year, AI has become far more accessible, and you don't need to develop systems. You can just use some ready to use tools, and the necessity to know the technical stuff and do the coding has almost disappeared in most circumstances. Of course, if you want to build something advanced, you may need some technical knowledge, but for the basic tasks, in an English like query language or English like language, as if you're talking to a friend, you can do many things with artificial intelligence. Now, so we demystify all the five myths, as we call them, but then there are a few challenges which we hear, like we talked about the bias, then there's hallucination, then there's toxicity in the decisions. What's your view on those challenges? More than the view, I am more interested in how can companies overcome these challenges or these concerns when they are building AI systems.
Okay, so I think these three are interconnected. One is mainly the result of the other. So one of the causes for bias is the lack of data. that's also one of the causes for my hallucinations, right? Couple of weeks back or months, I don't recall, but if you had asked ChatGPT when was the Mona Lisa painted, it will give you different years every time because it didn't have enough data on the Mona Lisa painting, right? So now they fixed it. But this is one of the main causes of hallucinations and bias. And the toxicity, it's the output, when the data are not accurate or the quality of the data is not up to speed, or when the data are discriminatory towards a group of people, right? So how can companies tackle these issues, right? So I would say the number one thing is to have a diverse, inclusive committee that could audit outputs and refine the models. When you test a model and you start training it and giving it examples that are better, then you can see that the AI can understand and retrain itself on those examples. And then you can always go back and refine your data, get more data, and reiterate this whole workflow until you end up in a situation where you have an acceptable level of hallucinations, an acceptable level of bias, and no toxicity.
I can agree with you fully. I think managing AI, you need diverse intelligences, diverse perspectives, diverse skills to bring in different perspectives. Because if you say, oh, the legal guy would bring in a compliance issue and then ask me to comply with the law and that, and if you start avoiding perspectives like that, then you'll develop an AI which is unfair or biased and having hallucination and toxicity. But if you allow for all those different perspectives, which may in the short term feel like creating some bottlenecks, creating some challenges, but in the long term, it will create for a more sustainable, more equitable, more humanitarian AI, which is, as they call it, responsible AI. That's
Yes.
the right word I was looking for. Responsible AI. So that will be the responsible AI when you have multiple perspectives, as you said. And that boils down to the right governance of AI activities right from the start, not once AI is developed. So with that, I think it's about time to say it was a wonderful conversation. I enjoyed it very much. And thank you so much, Nektarios.
I enjoyed it as well, and thanks again for inviting me. I loved our conversation and demystifying those AI myths for everyone.
Thanks for listening. If you liked the show, feel free to share it with a friend and write a review. If you have already done so, thank you so much. And if you did not like the show, don't bother and forget about it. Take care and stay safe. Fit4Privacy helps you to create a culture of privacy and manage risks by creating, defining, and implementing a privacy strategy that includes delivering scenario-based training for your staff. We also help those who are looking to get certified in CIPPE, CIPM, and CIPT through on-demand courses that help you prepare and practice for certification exam. Want to know more? Visit www.fit4privacy.com. That's www.fit4privacy.com. If you have questions or suggestions, drop an email at hello@fit4privacy.com. Until next time, goodbye.